Welcome back, everyone, to the Chamber Radio Hour here with Scott Maynard from the Chamber. And, we've had a couple of great guests on so far this morning. Phil McDaniel, St. Augustine Distillery. He's been a longtime Chamber member, is, I know, very actively involved and has really benefited the Chamber over the years. And then had a wonderful conversation with Rosie Gross, Trinity Roofing. And, relatively new Chamber member, but, Rosie said a lot that the Chamber events are really important to them because that's how they meet the realtors and other people to help their business. And so now we're going to visit with Jen Burnham with Liberty Landscape. So, Scott, introduce Jen.
Yeah. So Ed, one thing I always do is try to recommend Chamber members. And some of those I have utilized a lot. Others, like Trinity Roofing, that I will utilize them if I have to, but I have not had to do that yet. But with Liberty Landscape, they are truly near and dear to my heart. And I say that because they did all the landscape at my house from design to installation. And Jen and I were kidding earlier this week. I said, it's been 4 years now since the installation. Everything has matured beautifully. Nothing has died, which is key in landscape, right? Even with me trying to take care of it. But they offer literally the services, and I'm going to turn it over to Jen and let her talk a little bit about this, but services from the initial design to get exactly what you want, to getting it into the ground, and then making sure the irrigation is set to take care of that for long term. So Jen, welcome to the radio show this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about the history of Liberty Landscape, where I know you're not only located in St. Johns County with fairly new, 2 years now, but a great facility on State Road 16. But talk a little bit about your other locations and the history.
So Liberty Landscape Supply is an established for almost 18 years nursery in Northeast Florida. It started up in Fernandina and has slowly worked its way down to St. Johns County. So we're very excited to be down here. We have 4 locations that you can walk right into and have the best customer experience out there. That's something that sets us apart, and that would be the people that work for this company. They can provide you with questions answered and services offered. So it really is kind of a one-stop shop.
And the facility on State Road 16, which is just west of World Golf Parkway as you're going west toward like Rivertown and the Silverleaf exit as well, that facility is 16 acres of wonderful plant material and greenhouses, ready for the public to just come in and get whatever they need. And I saw a ton of fully colored mums that are ready for the fall already.
They're gorgeous.
Yep.
They are. That property has been a work in progress, and it is a super exciting place to work at. It is very big and has lots and lots to offer, everything from fieldstone to field-grown palms. And, of course, the knowledge to back up those purchases so you'll be successful in your own yard, which is really important to us. But it also sets it a little bit different than our other locations. It has a full retail nursery on the front half of the property, while the focus on the back half of the property is our contractor sales. So we're really trying to gear it toward anyone in this area. There's so much building and there's so many new homes to plant beautiful beds that we really want to cater to everyone in the community and make sure that they have everything they need to have a beautiful yard.
Well, I see here, too, also you have commercial customers. So talk a little bit about that.
We do. So we have a commercial division, which is very, very busy with much bigger jobs than I'm allowed to handle, and that's okay. But our commercial customers down at this location, they come in, they speak to our contractor specialist, and she actually sets them up start to finish, so they have the materials needed for their jobs in the time that they need them. There's also special order options through somebody like myself. I'm not the only nursery manager for Liberty. There's one of us at every location that can answer several questions that can satisfy lots of different requests for materials you may not even see at the nursery.
I was at the nursery this week picking up some plants, and I noticed that you guys just opened a new garden club room.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
I'm super excited about this project. This is the only location we have that actually has a facility capable to offer a space to garden clubs, small to medium in size, this particular space that is air conditioned, has its own facilities, can be used for us to host a presentation, can be used for them to come and hold their meetings, can be used for workshops. We're really excited to open the doors. It was very well received. We did have members from local garden clubs there, and it built a lot of excitement in the gardening community.
I would also imagine that you could host school groups or even homeschool groups that wanted to learn more about agriculture, horticulture.
Absolutely. And this is something that we do offer at our other locations as well. It's just that our facilities are a little bit different at each location. Our San Jose location doesn't have an indoor facility, so weather and temperature can really play a factor in people being willing or wanting to be in that space. So that's why this is such a unique opportunity.
So how do you see business right now? Obviously, where you are and you're scattered all across Northeast Florida, a lot of new building going on, so that means a lot of new customers, I would think. But what's the sense of how things are going here in 2025 compared to the last couple of years?
Things are going well. I would say they're holding steady. Each location really has its very own unique set of items that are popular. You know, some of our locations are really geared toward field-grown palm trees. They're flying out the door, while other locations are geared toward ground cover. Locations like this one, we want the pretty factor. We want something to put on our porch that our neighbors are going to say, wow, where did you get that? We also want the know-how to keep it alive and keep it looking that pretty.
Mm-hmm.
So each location offers something a little bit different and is definitely seeing a different flow in how their sales go.
What do you think the biggest mistake homeowners like myself do, and what's the way to avoid that?
Well, I mean, if we're talking about plants, probably trying to make something work where it simply just can't. There's lots of beautiful things, and no matter how much we want them to, sometimes they just don't work in either the area you're looking at or in this area in general. So it's important to have somebody that can walk you through and select the right plant material for your area, for the needs of your yard, for the level of care you want to put into it, for how large it is when it's mature. There's a lot of things that really factor into making that plant be successful for you and bring you joy.
It's interesting you say that, because I remember when we bought our house down here back in 2011, and a couple of our trees and other shrubs around the house weren't doing well, and we brought somebody out, and they said, well, the reason why is we're too far north for these. We don't know why they put these trees in. And so that seemed odd. Like, why would somebody do that unless I figured, oh, someone buys a house, we're done?
You see that a lot in a lot of new builds or homes that were recently put for sale. You know, they want that instant curb appeal, and it is effective, absolutely, for that instant beautification. But long term, you're not necessarily always going to see success. Now, sometimes a plant can be moved so it can continue to be kept in that yard and grow beautifully. And sometimes the plants just don't work out, and that's where we come in. Now, that does involve our design services. We do have designers who will come out to your yard and do a free quote. They will tell you what will work, what won't. They'll quote anything from a flower bed to a full yard revamp. That's a free service that we offer. And you don't have to necessarily buy the material, but if you did, we have an install division that would make that dream a reality.
That sounds great.
And Ed, what was great when we had our yard done, the design team came out and we had a whole graphic so we could see exactly what we were going to expect and know what type of plant material was going in, and also know how it was going to mature over time, which that was so very helpful. So, and I know you've got professionals at every location that are willing to provide input on what plants work where and any questions that customers would have.
Absolutely. We have 2 in-house at this location on 16. You can walk in. If you have questions, if you'd like to set up a consultation, you can come in. We are open 7 days a week. The designers are there Monday through Friday, and they welcome the opportunity to speak to anyone that is kind of questioning, what's my next step?
Yep.
Well, Jen, thanks for being here. Maybe one last thing. How will people find Liberty Landscape?
You can look up libertylandscapesupply.com. We're on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And we are here to make your landscape jobs easy.
Well, it's a serious business. You got 6 locations, over 150 employees, really covering the marketplace. Well done. And with that, we'll be back for one last segment. Scott and I are going to tell you about what's going on at the Chamber in the near future here for you all listening so you can get involved over the next month. We'll be right back.